Hi, welcome back to Examining Life, a life that's worth living. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Amanda. First, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed so far to my channel. I really appreciate your support. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button to help me get to my first 100 subscribers. Every Wednesday, I host Wisdom Wednesdays, where I choose a quote and analyze the wisdom behind that quote. A few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Fabi, who specializes in bioethics with a concentration on immigration. Some of you may have seen her on Jeopardy earlier this year. First, I want to thank Dr. Fabi for taking the time to speak with me. I have since read several of her papers, and today I will be discussing one of her thesis statements. The paper that I will be talking about today is called Respect for Persons, Not Respect for Citizens. In summary, this paper focused on a case study of an undocumented immigrant who is uninsured and seeking medical treatment for cancer. Although there may not be a legal obligation for the doctor to treat the patient, Dr. Fabi makes a strong case as to why the doctor has a moral obligation to do so. In this paper, Dr. Fabi defends the statement that, quote, respect for patient autonomy is not a duty owed solely to compatriots, but rather to all humans, regardless of immigration status, end quote. Please note that I do not want to have a political discussion about immigration, rather one about the ethical treatment of individuals. The two key words here are autonomy and duty. First, all humans are autonomous. Immigration status does not change the autonomy of a human being. Furthermore, the word duty implies a sense of egalitarian treatment to all patients. Immanuel Kant is one philosopher that Dr. Fabi references in this paper. And in The Foundations of the Metaphysics of Morals, Kant states, quote, act only according to that maxim by which you can, at the same time, will that it should become a universal law, end quote. Dr. Fabi goes on to state that, quote, respect for patient autonomy requires the team to inform him of all of his treatment options, including the clinical trial, end quote. Doctors have a moral duty to disclose all possible treatment options to all patients, which can also include clinical studies, and then let the patient decide which treatment option he or she wants to go with, since the patient is an autonomous being and can decide for themselves. Please note that Dr. Fabi does list 3 possible scenarios in which the doctor has a moral right to not disclose treatment options. These include 1. The patient does not have the capacity to understand and consent. 2. The likelihood of effectiveness of the treatment is highly unlikely. Or 3, the possible trial or treatment would cause further harm to the patient. The doctor has a moral right to not disclose any information if the patient falls under any one of those 3 scenarios. Luckily, in the case study in this paper, the patient did not fall under any of those categories. Dr. Fabi applies Kant's categorical imperative to support her thesis. In The Foundations of the Metaphysics of Morals, Kant states that all individuals are a, quote, self-existent end, and must never be valued merely as a means, end quote. The wisdom in Dr. Fabi's thesis statement includes that it would be ethically wrong to withhold knowledge of a clinical trial or other treatment option that has the potential to help a patient, because withholding such information hinders the autonomous patient's ability to choose treatment options due to lack of knowledge of those options. Therefore, the doctor has a moral obligation to disclose such information so the patient can choose which treatment option he or she wants to implement. One question that I thought of while I was analyzing this poses an irony here, which is that if the doctor has a moral obligation to his or her patients who are autonomous, does having a moral obligation in and of itself take away some of the autonomy of the doctor, who is also an autonomous being, because it forces the doctor to behave in a certain way or take certain actions? Yes, it is morally wrong to withhold information that has the potential to help a patient. Yes, it is morally wrong if that information is withheld because of the patient's immigration status. And yes, treatment options should be disclosed to the patient. However, is there another theory where both the patient and the doctor are seen as autonomous without either one's behavior being controlled by one force or another? I have the inclination to apply character ethics here, where the doctor can choose which information to disclose, and if he or she chooses to disclose all information, then he or she has a good character. While if the doctor chooses to withhold information, that has a potential to be a beneficial treatment to the patient, then that doctor has a bad character. However, I think there's even something wrong with using character ethics here, because it gives the doctor a choice, whereas there is only one morally correct choice, which is why Dr. Fabi uses Kant's categorical imperative, because it is a universal moral code. When there is only one morally correct choice, which should be the only path of action chosen on moral grounds. Therefore, the doctor's autonomy to choose which information to disclose and withhold is justifiably taken away, under the duty to respect their patient's autonomy. Should we simply live with this irony because it is morally justified in this scenario? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this week's Wisdom Wednesday, and again, thank you to Dr. Fabi for speaking with me about your research. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Stay tuned every Wednesday. Happy travels. Thank you. Bye.